Hey, folks, friends, welcome back to the Church Butler Lunch and Learn podcast, where we interview amazing, what else can we say, leading edge, cutting edge leaders in ministry. And this might be the pinnacle of the history of this podcast. I've got the one and only, I think he needs to modify his driver's license to put the word "the" in front of his name. The one and only Trey Van Camp. Welcome to the show, Trey.
Thanks, man. So excited to be here. I met you twice now. You're a great guy. I'm super pumped about what you do. And I'm so thankful you asked me to do this interview, 20 minutes ago. So let's get it done. That's how we do things, right? We make too many plans. Let's just get into it. So boom, here we are.
To be very honest, though, that is, I think, the shared DNA that we have and that others who are actually killing it on YouTube and the interwebs is this bias for action, right? I don't know how many people make excuses when they come up to me and talking about my blogging or my vlogging or anything like that. And I'm a newbie in the vlogging compared to you, but it's just amazing. Like, anyone can do this, right? It's
right. Just takes work.
So let's get back to basics. Tell us first of all, where in the world are you on the interwebs? Because you could be anywhere. It looks like you are in some really nice fancy hotel or something like that. Tell us where you are.
Yeah, so I'm actually in my hometown where I grew up. I live in Queen Creek, Arizona. So it's just a suburb outside of Phoenix. And grew up here my whole life, went to California for 4 years for college. And then I had a big fork in the road. I had a couple of job offers in California, almost took those. One of them was actually I was going to be Rick Warren's assistant. There's a name drop right there already. But it was it's a big part of my story because I could have done that. It would have been an incredible journey for me. But I talked to my wife, and she's like, what do you really want? Take away the fame, take away the status, take away the money. And I was like, honestly, I want to go back home and lead my friends to Christ. And she's like, I think that's what we should do. I agree. So in 2014, we moved back, and then we planted my church in 2016 at the beginning of the new year. And we're about to celebrate our third birthday, which is insane to me. And I've been vlogging since November of 2016. So I wish I vlogged before I launched, but I didn't even know what vlogs were until October of 2016. I found out about Casey Neistat. I spent 15 days watching all of his videos, and then I uploaded my first one. That's literally what I did. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew I wanted to do that. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did.
I wonder if Casey knows that he contributed to an emerging ministry in Phoenix, basically.
Well, I've met Casey, so I told him he was my inspiration. So he knows. I actually got to go hang out with him in New York City with 40 of his best friends plus me. And it was a super crazy event. So he really is an incredible guy. He's like
You went to his new place, the new digs, before it was open?
No, this was a year ago, this last week. So 368 wasn't announced yet, but it was a Samsung event. So he actually invited Dustin. Dustin's the one who's a quadriplegic. And so he's friends with Casey because of a shout out. Well, I'm friends with Dustin because of DMs on Instagram, hustling, getting to know him, encouraging him. And he's allowed to bring a +1, especially because of his situation. And so he hit me up, and 2 days later, I flew to New York City because my subscribers bought my ticket there and back. So it was a crazy experience.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I'm sure you vlogged about it. You were vlogging about it.
Oh, yes, I did. And I got to. That's how I got there. That's how Dustin knew about me. He started watching all my vlogs. But I had gospel conversations with people that have 4 to 5 million followers, and I still keep them up to this day. It was not with Casey; he was way too popular, and everybody was trying to get few minutes with him, but it was incredible. It was really, really cool experience.
So you are, I guess, in the Christian world, one of the real standout pioneers, which is just odd to me because YouTube actually has been around for so long.
I
Um,
know.
and I guess
I
pastors are
know.
just allergic to the camera. But tell us a little bit about your vlog. So, first of all, where can they find your channel, and what do you vlog about? How often do you vlog? Give us all the deets.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate this. Yeah, so you just look up my name, Trey Van Camp, like you're camping in a van, 3 words, and you'll find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz. I have a website, treyvancamp.com. But also, my vlogs are essentially how I got started. They're called documentaries. So instead of documentaries, it's documenting my life. So I call it documentary. And I officially came out. So I started vlogging November of 16. March of 17 is when like the light bulb turned on that I need to use my name. So documentary started really kicking forth there. I just uploaded my 223rd documentary. But outside of that, I have, I think, I don't know, 20 Q and trays. And then I have like 18 leadership videos that I put out for free. And then I don't know. So I think on my thing, I have almost 300 uploads on my channel. And that's within the last, I guess, 2 years now. And so I'm passionate about a lot of things. So I kind of have content pillars, and I know you talk about this a lot. And I always watch your LinkedIn videos and your blogs, and I think, oh, it's sometimes super encouraging. Like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. And then you've also helped me kind of change and reposition what I'm doing. But my content pillars are, my passion is that I want my friends who have never stepped foot in a church to see that I'm a normal person, that I love having fun, that I love my family, that I also love Disneyland. I'm not the one who boycotts Disneyland, stuff like that. Like, I want to communicate those things. And so honestly, my biggest popular views, I have one, Disneyland Pro Tips has almost 90,000 views now. It's actually what kind of got me, what most people found out about me first. And what's kind of cool is a lot of the Christians stick around and a lot of the non-Christians stick around. So I try to do a little bit of everything. And then I do make a lot of vlogs. I call them like hybrids, where half of it is like a sermon jam with some B-roll. And then the other half is just me going through my day, maybe even talking about that topic a little bit more. And then other times I just straight up upload my full message. Other times I upload leadership content. So I've made 2 different workshops, a leadership workshop. It's stuff I'm doing for my church anyways. And I'm just turning on the camera and allowing other people to see it as well. Cause I was like, of course I want to invest in the leaders of my church. So I thought, let's turn on the camera and invest in a lot of people. So there's actually churches across, this sounds so drastic. It's not a lot, but there's like 10 different states of church people in different states, churches that are using my leadership workshop as like their small group curriculum. So that's fun. And then with that, I took that momentum, and now I just finished a communication workshop. So I'm teaching, I'm actually getting more and more passionate of saying, okay, I've done this for 2 years. I want to teach other people how to do this. It's like a huge passion of mine because my numbers aren't crazy big. However, like the life impact is insane. I just got a DM on Instagram yesterday. It was a picture of a guy getting baptized at Mariners Church, which is a huge church, right? But he said, thank you. Oh, you cut out. Are you good?
I'm good.
But are you there now? Okay, good. My side said cut out. Okay, so I got an Instagram DM. This guy got baptized at Mariners Church, which is a ginormous church. And he said, hey, I found you through YouTube. I've been listening to your podcasts, and I had to take my next step of baptism because of your content. So I was like, that's so cool. So I also wonder, like, how often does that, you never know. Like I never knew that guy. Just really, really encouraged by that yesterday. So stuff like that just convinces me, especially leaders of the church, it's no longer a question, should you produce content? It's how often. And even that, like, just who can do it for you if you're really technologically illiterate? Because it's insane. I'm a small church kind of guy. We're not huge, I like to say, yet. But I'm still able to have, like, literally, in a sense, a global impact because of YouTube. So I'm super grateful. And it's just, I would have never guessed the stuff that's happened in the last 2 years.
What's interesting is that flip, right? Where you're no longer preaching to the people in the room. You have more people outside of the room. I was just at a conference in Nashville called faithleads.tech. And we were co-sponsoring from American Bible Society and the Bible team. And we worked with the conference organizer to light up a live stream to make it free to anybody that wants to watch who couldn't come to Nashville. And they had about 4 times the number of people on the live stream than in the room. And,
wow.
And then there's, on-demand access to all the talks and stuff. So it is now, right? It is foolish if you're not thinking about who is being reached through the interwebs with any of the content that you produce.
Just the other day, somebody asked me, who are your 5 mentors? I only know one of them in real life. The rest of them are on the internet. Like, honestly, I've been so shaped and molded by videos online.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get that opportunity to be that for people, which is so good.
So what about your local footprint? Because a lot of pastors are going to say, yeah, that's great, 10 other states, but I'm here called to serve my people in this zip code, in my building. Can you share any stories of, has it brought more visibility to you in your town? Has anyone walked in the door from hearing any of your vlogs or video content? Has any of your congregation actually shared any of your video content with other people to help bring them and invite them on?
Yes to all of the above.
Really?
What you've said, and I've really learned from you just about how I actually need to utilize ads more. So I've actually, the plan your visit model that everybody's talking about right now, we just made that video for us. And so what we've decided to do is on our plan your visit page, I show them, I walk through my vlogging style. I walk them through what our church looks like. And then they see the location, but then it also shows my blog channel. Like, hey, you need to get to know us more, check this out. And I have a whole playlist of behind the scenes ministry vlogs. So it's documentaries, but specific ones that are about the church. So it's really encouraging for our leaders in our church, the people who go. They love watching. They love me talking about the vision of our church. Like, it's the greatest way to cast vision. I get to save time on Sunday mornings to some degree because I'm casting that vision all throughout the week. But yeah, we've had several people come through our door and they're like, this sounds crazy, but I was searching Disneyland and you came up and I learned that we're in the same city. And so I decided to come visit your church. I'm like, that's incredible. That's how it's done. And so it's been, we've got a lot. It obviously attracts younger people because of that. And they just can really relate. And what I've also found is it attracts people who also want to do that. It's attracted a lot of creative people, a lot of people who are just like entrepreneur type. And that's who I really love anyways. So I love that I'm drawing them in. And so I'm speaking their same heart language. And so they automatically have respect for me, even outside of the Bible world. They just want to be around me and learn from me because of I'm doing kind of what they want to do. But for them, it's in the business world. So it's been really good. And I don't know, it's just really encouraged a lot of people. I mean, it has been. Every week I'm always wondering, I'm praying like, God, I pray that there's somebody else who, randomly stumbles upon my YouTube channel and they come to our church. Like, that's honestly the goal for me. I'm a local church guy. So I want my church to grow. I hate to say if I had to pick, but I still would probably pick my local church because I just think there's so much value in face-to-face, but I don't think it should be either or. I most definitely think it's both and.
Yeah, and in today's world, you're allowed to have the and there. Now,
right.
Okay, so what's interesting to me, because one of the things that I've always said that no one's really caught on, it's like I feel like you might be the first ever that might agree with me, is that the church lost the opportunity. They should have been Yelp.com for your city in terms of content.
Right.
Like if you look at realtor websites now are just putting out content about anything and everything about their town and their life, and they're celebrating. The high performing realtors, their websites are championing the life in their city. And I feel like churches should be doing that, and vlogging is a great way to talk about the restaurants, talk about your daily life going into some of the retailers and your neighbors, and talk to the owners. And in a way, your Disney video is kind of like that, right? It's not church. Like, so I guess the question is,
not at all.
Pastors are going to, I've had 2, I remember specifically, have said, but I should be only talking about the Bible and my church, and that's it. That I don't want to be on the record, or I don't want to go and publish stuff about any other part of my life. And I say that's an absolute no-no.
Right.
How do you respond to that?
I mean, I hang out with non-believers all the time, and the reason they put up with me is because I talk about other things as well.
Yeah.
Like if all I did was just bring up the Bible, I'm no longer invited to things. And I think it's the same. It's just funny when you're hanging out with somebody, family gatherings, whatever you're doing. Are you only talking about church and the Bible? I don't think so.
I hope not.
I think, and if you do, God bless your heart, man. You need more. You need to get out there. And so I think it's a holistic. I think that's what I love about the gospel is it affects every part of life, things that are intentional and unintentional. And I just want to show how, because Jesus is better, I'm actually able to enjoy the things of this world because I don't worship those things. So that's what I'm trying to communicate to them. I'm not putting my hope in this, but guess what? Because my hope's in Christ, and I'll bring that up every once in a while, I'm able to truly love this experience. I'm able to truly enjoy this family time, all this stuff. So it's always my main message on my channel is Jesus is better. And I am trying to communicate those truths. But I think it's more palpable because when I'm honest and say there's other things I really love, and it doesn't have to do with which translation I use on Sunday mornings.
Yeah. You want to be relatable, right? Someone who's watching your video needs to think, oh, I can hang out with that guy. I wouldn't mind. Right. It's not like I would suffer going to lunch with this guy. Right. You want to, right? Exactly. Like you want, I don't know. I just love the fact that some of your popular content is not like exegesis of, John 3:16 or slam poetry of the gospel in 30 seconds or right. Like I love it.
I'll explain that. That's where I'm different. And a lot of people tell me I need to change because I'm not as searchable, but like people say, hey, make a 5-minute video with this title of what does John 3:16 really mean to me or whatever. And my content is much more organic. It's much more living my life, and I'll infuse principles that I have in my sermons. But for some reason, I don't have a lot of joy sitting down just in front of a camera for 7 minutes and explaining why this song, Reckless Love, is actually a terrible song, whatever. I love that song. But, people, like, I don't want to get that kind of audience. I'm fine if I'll have less of an audience, if I don't have to do that crap. Oh, should I say that word? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at. So, like, who would I follow? I want to follow somebody holistically. I want to see how they live their whole life. And not just talking at the camera. So that's like what I've decided. And by the way, I mean, I love preaching. I love it.
Oh,
and so I send people to my podcast. So to me, my podcast is that, hey, you want to get some Greek lessons in, you want to get deep, go to my podcast and we'll get it in. But for my YouTube, it's a lot more for the rest of the world who doesn't care about Greek unless it has to do with the movie 300. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, and here's my other question. So I've been vlogging natively on LinkedIn because most of my content's about entrepreneurship, content marketing, social media for the church. And I think LinkedIn is the next landscape, the next frontier.
Right.
And I syndicate to YouTube and other places. I don't know about you, but my views are not that huge. But it seems like anyone and everyone in my network has seen my videos. Anyone and everyone that I meet in person eventually, if not immediately, brings up my vlogging. And I'm only on episode, I think today, episode 73 went out today. So I'm only like 2 months, 2 months into it, right? I'm only 2 months into it. And I feel like the power of video and the reach in my networks and even people I've been introduced to, they've seen or heard my vlogging. And I feel like the view counts are broken, like they're underrepresenting.
Agreed.
Do you feel like there's this disproportionate reach that videos have that, say, a blog post doesn't? That videos just people see them more? I don't know.
That's a really good point. So like I usually watch most of your videos. There's occasional where it just doesn't happen, right?
So you're the guy. You're the one guy that watches my video.
But that's something I've learned actually in the YouTube, the new beta studio. They show you your unique viewer reach per month. And I got way more encouraged because I would average like 200 views per video. And I'm thinking, when am I going to finally cross that next threshold? And I think, man, there's only 200 people that I'm reaching. But then on the beta studio, it says I reach on average 5.6 thousand different people per month. So I touched a lot of different people per month. And so I'm thinking there's a lot of people that only watch my Monday videos, but there's a lot of other people who only watch the Friday videos. And so I decided, actually, I'm having an announcement. So I'm doing Vlogmas in December. So I'm doing every day in December up until Christmas. But check this out. You might need to hold me accountable, but I think I'm going to try. I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to try to vlog every day in 2019. I'm going to upload something every day in 2019 because I realized what's been holding me back is vanity metrics and like, oh, if I put out more, then the views are less. I've had enough of that. Like, who gives a snot? You know, like I want to serve people, and who knows if that guy who messaged me yesterday got baptized. What if I didn't post that one content that got his attention because I was scared it wouldn't get enough views? You know, and so I'm confident enough, and I have 2 years of social proof that people do enjoy my content. So why not put out more and see what happens?
I've been vlogging daily, and I'm a nobody. I think anybody can do it. And this is the thing is like, I've been doing and I think you got to think of your workflow so it doesn't kill your day. I don't know how long it's averaging you in terms of editing an actual video, but for me, I capture, edit, and publish all from my phone for the last 2 months. Wow. This past week, for the first time, I picked up the new Hero 7 Black with hyper smooth stabilization, right? Which in the last couple of videos, you can see the quality has jumped up just so much. I mean, it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. There is a little bit of friction. It does do Wi-Fi porting of the videos. But it takes longer than the 10 to 15 minutes. I'm taking about 15 minutes total to edit my videos here on my phone and publish. With this, it's maybe another 3 or 5 minutes, maybe. But I'm concerned. My platform is I feel like there's a proper place for shame in the church. This might be one of them, where I want to be able to say, hey, look, you have a phone, you can vlog. If I can vlog, you can vlog. Right. There's no I don't have this fancy DSLR. And I say, you look at those vloggers like Trey VanCamp, he's got those cool like vlogging DSLR rigs and everything like that. Trey's got this beautiful lighting. You don't need that, right? So I feel like a little guilty going up to something like even like this, which is nothing compared to what your rigs are. But I'm telling you, it's so easy to vlog even on a daily basis without hindering your work. I mean, again, it's taking me 5 minutes to capture, 5 to 6 minutes to capture the video, and then another 10 minutes right now to edit and publish. And so, I don't know. I encourage you to do it on a daily basis. I love it. I wonder if you, though, would do the same type of video every single time, because you must be putting in a half hour to an hour of editing at least every episode that you're doing. They're great episodes.
Yeah. Thank you. So actually my content model is going to be like on Mondays, I'm just going to do a sermon, sermon splice from Sunday. So that gives me, I don't have to vlog on Sundays if I don't have to. And then I'm going to do another day of the week where I just podcast with my wife. And I'm going to record it and just upload it. And so that's no prep. I just, it's just changing the camera angles is it. So there's a few ways to there's more than one way to skin a cat is what we say out here. And so I want to do that, and that'll help me on staying consistent. But I love editing. I love storytelling. I love drone shots. I love time lapses. Like, it's weird, but it keeps me emotionally healthy. So at the
creative elements.
Oh, I love it. I'm obsessed with finding the right song and putting it in. Gotcha. And I just when I edit, I have tears in my eyes because I'm thinking I get emotional over what I'm making, it's like, oh, this song is perfect, and I'm going to say Jesus is better at the end. And I'm in tears while I'm editing. I love that. And so I just think about my viewer doing that too. So I spend an hour at least on all my vlogs. If I'm vlogging, if it's actual so much cinematics, although some days, and it really annoys me, but sometimes I just set the camera down and I'm in my office and I talk straight to it for 5 minutes and I'm honest. and it gets like quadruple the views, and it was no work. I just had to press start and stop. So you can't figure people out. But for me, it's an artistic thing for me.
Absolutely.
I love it. And I watch people when they're more creative, unless their content is just killing it. So my goal is to be a blend, and I go back and forth. I want to be at least a blend between Gary V and Casey Neistat. Like I want to like resemble. Those are my two biggest inspirations on YouTube. And I think with my cinematics that I enjoy, plus my type of content, because Casey doesn't have an overload of content. He's just enjoying his life. But Gary V's got like boom, 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 boom. But that's what I have with my messages. So I try to blend those two together as kind of my style. And I love it. I think it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Well, I love it. I love that you're creatively doing it. I love that you're up in your game. I can tell you, I'm only 70 days into it. I'm starting to think about, and that's why I got this. I'm starting to think of, this has the hyper smooth time warp, time lapse, and I put that into one. I can see over time that those creative outlets of storytelling are going to start to creep into my vlogging. This brings me to one of the things I definitely wanted to talk about today. So, people feel a little bit naked, or they feel they don't have what it takes to vlog when we say you need to start. And a lot of people get it. They feel like, I get it. I need to vlog. I need to start somewhere. 2019 might be the right place to go. And I found out that you actually are doing something about it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited. And I asked you to come on the show today. Tell everybody what you literally, I'm really super excited because I don't think this is happening in many other places. What are you doing for people who are trying to get out of the gate and just get started with vlogging?
Yes. I'm so pumped for this. So for the first year, I just put my head down and I thought, I have a lot to learn. I've spent hours upon hours upon hours, YouTube tutorials, trying to figure out different styles. Just like I can't even fathom the amount of hours I've been researching. That's one of my strength finders input. I love reading and researching. And so the last 2 years I've been doing that. And I finally feel like I'm at a point where God has used this ministry enough. The biggest thing I hate is when people say, hey, follow me, and they've done nothing. So I never want to be that guy. So like, I didn't want to tell people, hey, let me teach you, until I felt like I would have done enough to be worthy of teaching somebody. You know what I'm saying? There's way too many experts that haven't done anything. And so, but actually this I don't know when you're uploading this, but Black Friday weekend, I'm offering, everything's 50% off. It's the release. I'm calling it kind of my beta, but 6 months ago, I bought the domain blogyourministry.com, and I've just been letting it sit there and thinking and praying through what that looks like. And I've just been so convicted. Just to be honest, I would rather spend my time on non-believers. I'd rather spend my time engaging the lost and building my church. But then I got convicted of like, man, this thing can multiply if I can help some other church leaders just get ahead and teach them what I've learned. And I try to summarize everything I've learned and figure that out. And so I think I can just really help people skip a lot of the bumps in the road that I had to deal with. And so this Black Friday weekend, blogyourministry.com is ministry. I said ministry. It's ministry. My podcast is called Ministry. So,
I think you need to get a second domain.
I know. But blogyourministry.com, and I don't know. So the style is, I already have a couple. I have 6 topics, and it's to help people like from start to finish. So what should your audience be? Why is vlogging so important? But I'm tired of hearing why it's important. I already know it's important. So my teaching is going to be, here's how you do it. Because I've done these courses, and at the end of it, I was like, oh, all you said was I should do this. Duh. So to me, it's like, how do I do it? And I realized, no, I mean, I need to be careful with this wording here, but not many pastors have blogs. So how could they teach other pastors how to blog? So I realized I'm in a unique position. So I talk about things like, I'm going to give like filmmaking tips and tricks, like how to place your camera certain places, how to edit that in post. Another episode is going to be about the importance of creating consistent content. So walking through with pastors, here's like 8 different ways you can take what you're already doing and making it into creation pillars. there's several things: how to build a tribe, how to communicate, how to story tell. So I've put a lot of time into this, and then what I'm going to do is I have some of those videos already up, and then I'm going to do a Google Hangout with people. I'm going to walk them through. I'm going to answer people's questions, and then I have different. I don't know how deep I should get into this, but I have like I call it a mentorship program where I want to help people one-on-one. I feel like that will help people the most. Of like, hey man, like if you have, for me, I don't want to be in a group because I feel like I won't be able to get my questions in or whatever. So I thought, well, I'm going to offer whoever wants it. And this weekend only, it's just $200. But it's going to be for 6 sessions, and it's going to be like, I think like through February, I'll like help out, and then we'll see what goes from there. But I'm going to give you like everything I got and answer any questions you have and help you. Here's how you edit. Like, here's how you do this. Here's how you do that. And I think it'll be really helpful. Then I have a cohort. So if you're cheap like me, maybe you just want to pay $100. And again, that's only the Black Friday deal. But then it'll be just a small group of people that I'm teaching at the same time. And then we'll all kind of go back and forth. Again, this is all online. And what I'm excited about is my third option. If anybody's in Arizona, I'm actually doing it at my father's church. I'm in my father's church building right now. We're going to do a live event. It's going to be all day, and I'm going to they're going to bring their computers and their cameras. And I'm going to walk through how you do this. January 8th. I'm doing it soon. I should probably think about the date, but I figured people want to get jump started on 2019. So I wanted to do it sooner than later. And I realized pastors are way too busy in December. So nobody's going to sign up for a December slot. So I'm going to do it like the first week of January and just kind of help people get going. And hopefully they start pressing upload.
Tuesday, January 8th in Phoenix.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm going to see if I can get out there, Trey.
And it's actually, that'd be cool. It's actually the cheapest one too for this weekend because I don't know. I really want a lot of people to show up to that. I think there'll be a lot of value in face-to-face.
So the mentoring is one-on-one, 6 calls, 6 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's content for them to watch before we call, and then it's a call.
Gotcha. And I love on the site, I'm looking at the site right now, that you have the actual schedule of the different topics, audience access, attention, creating content that's consistent, documenting toward your destination. Oh, I love this one. Using your tone so that love can be shown, right? 15 ways to find your voice. Because I think that's so important. You can't just copy anybody, right?
That's the game changer.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right. Once you find your own voice and your sweet spot, then people start to follow you, I think, right?
Okay, you're back on. I lost you.
So once you find your voice, that's when you're in your sweet spot and you have personality and you differentiate yourself, and then you can find your audience, and that grows.
And preachers know that. I mean, I hate my first year of sermons, but like you have to do them. And so that's like the encouragement. And here's a bunch of different ways you can try. And here's 15 different types of voices out there that I've seen. Maybe you can make your own, maybe add a little bit of everything, but the voice is what gets people. Like I asked people the other day, like, what do you enjoy about my channel? And they said, it's your honesty and your passion. And that's always been my voice. That's how I've always presented myself. And that's what keeps them around.
And then you've got tips and tricks. Let's see. You've got tips and tricks of storytelling. And then you've got tribes and tribulation.
That's a lot of editing. Yeah, you like that? Tribes and tribulation? See what I did? The little bit of, the comment section can get mean, and figuring out, man, like, I just want to talk about how do you build your tribe. And I actually talk about the law of diffusion of innovation. You're so smart. I know you know about that. And so talking about, here's some ways you can get your early adopters, and then your early majority, and then your late majority, and really talking about all of that. I just had a lot of fun doing. But there's going to be tribulation. And I think you know this with the algorithm, there's times where you dip, and that's when you need to keep pressing forward because there's always an upside, really in all of ministry, right? And so I've seen way too many people start, and then the second the algorithm, because when you start, YouTube says, oh, good, we'll let a lot of people watch you because then you'll get excited. And then they just cut you from under your feet, and nobody sees your videos, and you're wondering what happened. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with YouTube.
You know what?
Being a meathead.
That's kind of like the first time I ever heard someone say that out loud. Like some of us know that kind of stuff happens, and it's kind of like as a veteran, it's like when I was a young kid, but like everyone goes through that like depression era, right? That little phase,
Yes.
and it's not you. It's now you got to do
Nope.
something about it. You got to put out good
Right.
content, and you got to push
Right.
through it.
Maybe it is you.
Maybe
Yeah.
it is you.
Maybe it is you. That's self-awareness.
So anyway, okay. So once again, what is the website address? The URL is
vlogyourministry.com.
vlogyourministry.com. And if someone just had a couple questions, because sometimes people are hesitant, there's that inertia.
Oh yeah.
If they had some questions beforehand, could they ping you? How do they do that? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Please, actually. So 2 different ways. I don't know what your style is. One is Instagram. Just look me up, Trey VanCamp. Hit me up on DM. I always answer. But if you want something more personal, feel free to text me at 480-448-0823. So 480-448-0823. Feel free to text me if you have any questions.
Oh my gosh, you're one of those millennials that puts it all out there. Kind of like
Why not?
why not?
I know your followers. It's okay.
And side note, have you gotten a lot of spam or other trolls or anybody texting you or anything like that when you put your number out there?
Yeah, I got one, and it was honestly one of those guys. It's like, again, if people are in ministry, they get it. It's that guy who just shows up to your church office every day because he has nothing else better to do. And he's not mean, so you can't kick him out, but he's also not very useful, so you act like he's not around. That's kind of where it's at. So he's just been calling me and texting me, and I just learned to be like, hey, man, I'm busy, sorry. So outside of that guy, though, it's been a lot of encouraging conversations. Non-believers and believers alike. So I'm thankful I did it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's a playbook out of Bob Goff, right? He, the author, he puts his phone number in his books, asking people to text him. That access and transparency. Anyway,
Dave Adamson was the one who challenged me to do it.
Dave Adamson,
Aussie Dave, he's the one who told me. Yep.
Yes, which I think he pulled from Bob, and so yeah, I love the fact that you're trying to be authentic and being accessible. So anyway, I love the fact that you're doing this for church leaders. It's not just the pastor. I actually think that if you are a team leader in any of the departments in your church,
you're a Christian.
Yes, but I think it's a place where you can provide leadership if you're not the senior pastor.
Yeah.
You don't need to wait for the senior pastor to do it. In fact, you probably should do this as just one of those, frontier things for your ministry because no one else is thinking about it. And Amen. I think the latest number I saw, Rich Birch just tweet out something that the latest numbers is that the average view time on YouTube is about 40 minutes, which is up 50% from
saw that year. Today. Mm-hmm. That encouraged me.
If you don't wake up from hearing that one stat alone, who has 40 minutes in their day extra? And think about it. That's what the average person on YouTube is doing. 40 minutes on YouTube. If you're not there, then you're nowhere. You have to be searching.
And by the way, maybe in 5 years, it's something else. So it's always the strategy of where are the eyeballs? That's where I'm going to be at. So it's not, I'm careful not saying YouTube because maybe it won't always be YouTube. And we'll wind up being just like the people right now who say TV. No, nobody's watching TV anymore. So it's wherever the people are, that's where you need to be. Just like ministry.
Love it. Okay, I hope some people check you out and go to vlogyourministry.com as well as check out your YouTube channel. Thank you so much for just taking a break, stepping out of your back-to-back ministry meetings all day, Trey. I really appreciate, again.
I got you. Seriously, such a privilege.
And maybe we can, jump on a call again and revisit either midstream in your course or even after the course is done, and to see how things are going, because I'd love to see the transformation or the progress that maybe some of the people jumping on actually experience, because I think that's the fun part. But I also think doing that it's the term social proof, right? We need to show social proof that it's that easy, that accessible. You don't need to be as handsome and good looking as Trey VanCamp to pick up a camera. And anybody can actually pick up a camera and start vlogging today for their ministry.
Anybody.
Anybody.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Okay.
Amen. I love that.
Well, thank you again for hanging out with us today, Trey. And again, everybody, vlogyourministry.com. And again, one of the things that if you're not going to do anything, the bare minimum is follow his channel, subscribe, and just start to learn the genre and observe. I actually think that this is one of the things that you have a gift right in front of you. You've got a trailblazer, a church leader who's really doing exactly what should be doing by the playbook in front of you. And so learn by even just watching. And then I think stop being a lurker, comment on the videos that he has, and actually see the engagement, because that's the one of my pet peeves is you got to stop being a lurker. You got to stop being a lurker.
Yeah.
That's the only way to learn. So anyway,
so good.
Thanks, Trey. I really appreciate it. Everybody here, appreciate you hanging out with us for these Lunch and Learns. One of the reasons we talked about video is because some of you have been messaging me that you want to learn more from people who do video. And so please keep on reaching out, comment below, and let us know what other topics or who in particular you'd love to learn from in our Lunch and Learn series. And remember, you can also get the transcripts and the show notes and all the other episodes at our blog at www.butler.church. And that's about it for this time. I'm Kenny Jang. Thank you so much. I'm signing off. Trey, till next time, happy vlogging.
Thanks so much, man. Yeah, you too, brother. You too.
Bye-bye.